All right, for those watching, we're going to talk to Kayla today. She's going to give us a quick little rundown on, her experience working inside of the program. So, Kayla, give me an idea. What do you do for work and where are you located at?
So I do the reserve military Army Reserves
Mm-hmm.
part-time. And then right now I work at Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much staying busy as much as possible, working anywhere from 12-hour days to sometimes 8-hour days. It just kind of depends on the workflow. And then, with drill, it's like 12-hour days again. So
Again, yeah.
always keeping busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm over in the East Coast in Ohio, so we get all four
Nice.
seasons and
It's
just
cold up there
learn.
right now.
It's snowing
Yeah.
magically. Yesterday it was 65 degrees and now it's 21, so you never know what you're gonna
Dang.
get.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, I know too, like Chick-fil-A, dude, they keep you guys super busy. And we were just talking about that. Like it's no joke. So, and then going to drill, I had the same thing too. Like I would work, go to drill,
Hmm.
work. So you basically just work for like 3 weeks straight. It's great. Just never ends. So, so give her an idea too. Like, where were you at in terms of your own fitness journey when right before you decided to jump into the program?
Hmm. Yeah, so like obviously, I work out maybe 3 times a week, try to do some cardio, try to do some lifting. I used to, well, I don't used to. I still go to Planet Fitness. That's
Okay.
my gym of choice because it's the closest around.
Yeah.
But kind of putting in a little bit of variant of exercises, but I typically skip leg day.
Hmm.
Before this, not my favorite, never has been. Um, but typically we just do the same workouts, kind of stagnant, just doing what I like to do as opposed to kind of doing a full body type of exercise. So not anything crazy, but also probably not anything that was super helpful to myself.
Mm,
So
okay. And with that too, like, did you try anything? Like, did you ever work with any coaches? Did you try any apps,
mhm.
ebooks, anything like that?
I never worked with any coaches. I would say the closest I ever did was when I was on military orders. Like me and my buddies
Mm,
would hit a couple workouts together when we were together
yeah.
for like a month or two. But outside of that, it was, you'd see this, hey, try this 10-day circuit exercise. So that was probably the closest I ever got to trying any type of program as well.
Okay.
It really was just when I did work out with my friends or in the military, I just kind of repeated those exercises that I was like, oh, I can
Okay.
increase weight, I can keep improving on it, but not ever branching out and trying
Mm,
anything else.
okay. And what was your goal when you stepped inside?
Definitely, a goal I had was to lose a couple pounds. My focus was really towards the military side of things, obviously with height and weight and
Hmm.
tapings. I've weighed the same amount since high school, really. Just my body composition kind of fluctuates a little bit. So I was really either hoping to lose weight or just kind of, slim the body
Hmm.
fat a little bit to just be a little bit more comfortable. Taping has always been a thing. I've never not been taped.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of, see where I could get. Everything
Uh-huh.
else I've tried has not gotten me any progress whatsoever. It's been stagnant. So
Yeah.
just hoping to either, shed a couple pounds or shed an inch or two.
There
But
you
that
go.
was
There you
really the
go.
goal.
Yeah. And like so far, have you seen any transformations since you kind of stepped in?
Yeah. I mean, since the beginning, I've lost close to 8 pounds. Nothing crazy.
Hmm.
Um, but it's been like a slow progress of losing, a half pound here, losing a pound there. But then also, uh, slimming down a little bit in the waist and back area, which also was a slow progress. In the beginning, I was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm just doing this stuff, nothing's happening. And then, as we've gotten closer to the end of the program, it's like, oh wow, like
You
there
can
are
see the
changes that
pictures.
you necessarily don't you're not really focused on. You're like, oh, I want results now.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
definitely something that throughout the program was like, okay, you start to see it. We've built the consistency. We've done the hard work, and now this is
Hmm.
kind of where we're at.
Yeah, and you can really see it in your pictures too.
Hmm.
Like your back pictures, like we were just looking at them. Like I was like, oh, dude, like clearly lost. You could see it, and that's the biggest thing too is we get super hyper fixated on
Hmm.
scales sometimes and things like that, and you're still losing weight in inches. It's
Hmm.
just sometimes it's not reflecting on the scale as fast as we kind
Hmm.
of wanted
No,
to.
absolutely.
Yeah. So you did awesome too. So, what made you decide to do something like this? Because obviously you've never tried anything
Hmm.
before, and it's different than apps and ebooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why
Um,
this?
Honestly, I was scrolling on Instagram one day and it popped up.
Okay.
And I was like, this seems interesting. This was also when like the Department of War was kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
throwing out the new standards, and they were like, hey, we're gonna start kicking people out. And I was like, okay, maybe I
Oh
need to be a
shit.
little bit more sure about things.
Yeah.
So, I watched some videos. Eventually, it was like, let me schedule, the initial call where they kind of break
Hmm.
everything down. And I was like, at the end of the day, I was kind of like, oh, let's try it. It is an
Yeah.
investment. And at first, I was like, man, is this going to
Yeah.
be worth it? Like, I had no idea what I was getting into. But at the end of the day, I was like, let me try something else. If it doesn't
Yeah.
work, it doesn't work. But if it does, then I'm glad that I did it. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're at now. Like, I'm glad I made the investment because it's something,
Good.
even though, I did work out on my own, I thought I
Hmm.
was watching what I was eating. Just the little
Yeah.
things that the program has provided has really opened my eyes to, what I need to do better going forward and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
definitely was just like, let's jump into it and see what happens.
Yeah. Do you feel like it was worth it? I guess at the end of the day, the value and everything inside.
I think so, yeah. Definitely
Good.
in the beginning, it's kind of like, man, what did I get
What did I
myself
buy?
into? Everything is kind of thrown at you all at once, and you're kind of like,
Hmm.
oh wow, like, is this for me? Did I make the right decision?
Hmm.
Um, but it definitely is like we said earlier, like it's a slow progress, and like
Yeah.
you see that towards the end, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's where it's kind of like, oh, okay, like the value is worth it and more for what
Yeah.
it provides, like having access to the Fit for Life to be able to have access to more recipes and
Hmm.
just little things like that to even go back and reference going forward. So,
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm glad you jumped in. Like I always tell people at the end, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's always your choice, you know what I mean? Whether
yeah,
to do something or not.
no,
And
absolutely.
I talk about that a lot. It's like that parallel. You could have kept
Hmm.
doing your own thing.
Hmm.
You might have been in a completely different place than you are right now.
No,
So
absolutely.
it's kind of crazy at the end of it. So did you feel like it helped you out anywhere else? Maybe you didn't really think it was going to help you out in, like when you jumped in?
I think the biggest thing that I think kind of helped me was like with nutrition.
Mm,
I thought I was doing pretty good.
yeah,
Obviously in the beginning Christy was like absolutely not,
don't
like
do
you do
that.
not eat enough. And I was like, but my body felt fueled, it felt good.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that I was dragging or like what
Hmm.
I was putting into me necessarily wasn't the best. But kind of
Hmm.
having like being able to break it down and like macros are scary. But like having that being able to break down and kind of make more sense of it other than you hear people talk about it all the time or on social
Hmm.
media they talk about it all the time and you're like, what are they talking
Doesn't make
about?
any
Like
sense. Yeah.
it makes no sense. But like you can still, you know, go to Chick-fil-A and eat and still
Hmm.
be able to hit your macros.
Hmm.
Whereas before I was like, oh, no fast food, no sugar,
Hmm.
don't eat carbs, and it's like okay, you do need all that stuff and it's okay to eat it. And like it puts
Yeah.
it into perspective a little bit more of okay, like it is okay. Whereas if you read stuff online, they're like, don't eat it, like watch it.
Hmm.
So I think that was like the biggest kind of perspective wise that it really opened me up to it a lot more.
Yeah, and you're eating almost 2000. You're eating 1925 calories. Like that's a lot for most women. Well, they will be like, "Oh, 1200. That's all I'm
Hmm.
allowed to eat." And you've lost weight eating more food. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's
which
kind
was
of
crazy.
doesn't make any sense for most people, but we're like, actually, that's the right way to do it. And
Yeah.
people are like,
Well, in the
I'm like,
beginning,
yeah.
she was like, we're gonna increase it. And I was like, increase it? Like,
What?
I
Yeah,
feel
which
full off of this.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's
What are
like,
you
we're gonna
talking
keep
about?
going.
Yeah, Chrissy's really good with reverse diets too. Like that's her bread and butter. So, she's really good at making sure you're doing it the correct way.
No,
And that was
absolutely.
gonna be my next question too. Like, how was your experience with Christy? Like, start to finish.
No, she was great. She
Mm-hmm.
definitely was somebody that, one of the questions I asked her was, "Hey, I'm traveling for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is something I can do?" Because I think that was like maybe the first month I was into the program, and I was like, we finally kind of got a little bit of consistency in nutrition. I was like, what can I do? What should I do? And she really she sent me a video and was like, "Hey, this is what I use. You
Mm-hmm.
can use this, but also, you know, you can go ahead." And she kind of put into perspective, like, you can still eat like
Eat.
at fast
Yeah,
food
you're
and
allowed to
stuff.
eat.
Like, it's it's fine. Like, you can also
Yeah.
give yourself a little grace. Like, you're traveling,
Yeah.
you're not at home, you're not cooking, you're not meal prepping, so like that's
Mm-hmm.
okay too. You don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have to be like, "Oh, I can't meal prep, like game over." Um,
Mm-hmm.
so she was very helpful. She made sure that any question I had was answered.
Yeah.
And she just, she was great. I know I sent
Yeah.
her a couple workouts I did, and I was like, it's not working for me. It's hurting." And she was like, "Send me a video, we'll
Yeah.
break it down. Maybe the form's wrong."
Yeah.
And she's been very helpful the whole entire
Yeah.
way.
Good. And that's what we want for our coaches to make sure you guys are getting that
Hmm.
support and, have that person in your corner because
No,
it is really
absolutely.
helpful to have that. So, last question for you
Hmm.
is best piece of advice you would give someone that might be watching. I know we talked before we
Hmm.
started this and you said you watched like, a couple of these.
Hmm.
So was there like anything you would tell somebody that might be on the fence about jumping in or, since your experience so far, what would you
Hmm.
kind of say what they should do if they're maybe thinking about doing it or
Hmm.
watching this video and you're the one that might just flip them over. What would you say to kind of like, just make them feel better about like if they do decide to jump in?
Hmm. Just do it. Everything is an investment, and at the end of the day, if you're willing to put in the work and put in the time, uh, do it. Even
Hmm.
if you don't have time, like that's what the coaches are there for.
Yeah.
Even when I was traveling and busy, like Christy still made sure that like I was good while I was on the go.
Hmm.
So if it's something where it's like, "Oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy," like trust me, like your coaches are there to push you. They're there for the
Hmm.
accountability. Even when you think you're great at accountability, like they're there 100% of the time for you, no matter
Yeah.
what. So just do
Awesome.
it and be patient.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with, results. It takes time.
Hmm.
And it's the more you rush things, the more frustrated you're going to get. And believe me, we've seen it time and time again on
Hmm.
when people are going to get results, when you start seeing things. So we're there to kind of like, make you guys feel a lot better in the process too.
No,
So
absolutely.
yeah. So thanks for, deciding to work with us. Thanks
No,
for
of
jumping on the
course.
interview with me. And if anyone is watching, you have any questions, again, like feel free to reach out. If you want to do a consultation, we'll set you up and, get a better understanding of like what your needs are to see if we can help you. All right. So thanks again, Kayla.
Of course. Thank you.